It's different doing this from my phone instead of my laptop. Hello, everybody. Sorry about all that. Hello to everybody that is here. I just want everybody to
Hi,
know
everyone.
I'm going live from the inside of my car because it's been nasty weather today, and I had to be where it said 5G. And instead of seeing me pixely, you'll see me my bright shiny face today. So
Yay!
today we are doing an interview with Cryptic Cryptids. She is another female Bigfoot hunter. Everybody, please welcome Jenna from Cryptic Cryptids.
Hello.
So, first of all, what I want you to do is I want you to kind of tell about what you do on your channel.
Okay, well, I started my channel when I started noticing Bigfoot evidence at the place that I was going, but it was interesting because I didn't really ever think about Bigfoot at all. And I was having experiences that I couldn't explain. And you know, when you can't explain it, you just forget about it. And then when I started watching Finding Bigfoot, that's when I realized what was going on. And then I started actively going there and looking for, you know, signs, and I was like more aware of it. But when I had my first encounter in Batista Canyon, I wasn't even, Bigfoot was the last thing on my mind. It was just not an option. So yeah, then I just started kind of posting things. That's how my channel started. And then I got back into it just kind of about a year ago. And because I moved back to my Bigfoot hotspot, I had moved from, I was in Hemet, and then I moved to Palm Springs, and there was nothing really going on in Palm Springs as far as, you know, Bigfoot goes.
Oh, that's crazy. So what is, I mean,
yeah, and there was, it was weird because when I started having the, finding the evidence, that's when I did the research online and found out that Hemet is a Bigfoot hotspot, and there have been like multiple sightings there. So I was like going, you know, to this, you know, Bigfoot hotspot again and again and again and again, because it started because I was looking for a mine. I was looking for gems, and I kept going back into Batista Canyon looking for a mine. And that's when I had the experiences with the whoops and getting paralleled. And but at the time I didn't know what it was going on. I didn't know it was Bigfoot. So that's kind of how it all happened, how it all started.
Okay, so I watched quite a bit of your videos, and some of the footprints that you have came upon has been pretty interesting too. I mean,
yeah, that is real weird. Yeah, it was just kind of a the way things accelerated too, and I just got so into it. I was so involved in it and just so just captivated by it, and I was just going there back every day, and then finally, well, things just kind of reached this point with the gifting. The gifting didn't really, well, I got some good results from the gifting, I guess you could say, but I kind of got a message from them that the elders did not appreciate the gifting or me messing around with them at all.
well, see, I've heard different things about gifting. Some people say gifting is good. Some people say gifting is bad. Me myself, I have never gifted yet. I just go out and actually, you know, try to catch evidence of them being out in the woods and evidence of them existing, period. I mean, you see all the snap trees, you see the stacks of like the branches and stuff they use to lay on. I mean, there's all kinds of evidence out there. But
yeah, when you look for it.
right.
But it can go unnoticed too if you're not looking for that, you know. Like when I was looking for footprints, I wouldn't have noticed those, you know, even no matter how big they were. I just wasn't looking for footprints. But yeah, it was just strange the way it all happened. But Bigfoot, like I said, was the last thing. I had no idea they were living in so many different places. But I think that they stay underground pretty much during the day and then come out at night.
So I've had most of my Bigfoot sightings during the day.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, do you think they're guarding some sort of maybe they could be guarding an entrance to the underground or something?
You know, that's very possible, or guarding their I guess you call their sleeping area, their den, or wherever that is, their home. Basically, their home.
Yeah.
They're on watch. You know, there's where it seems to me like wherever you spot them is like they're not too far from where they sleep.
Yeah. Especially during the day, I would think.
Right. So, have you ever actually seen a Bigfoot? Have you?
Well, that's interesting because when I was in high school, I had that's when I lived on in Lower Clarkdale, right along the Verde River. And I
Mhm.
had these two experiences. Like I said, Bigfoot was the last thing on my mind. And I remember every detail about these experiences except the actual face. But when I was walking home from school, there was, well, and I would just thought, and I thought it was this, um, well, I'm in Arizona and I did get bullied a lot in Arizona. And so I was at the time was afraid of a lot of the people that bullied me. And anyways, I just thought it was a person in the bush. And they were very relaxed in the bush. And I had to walk by them. And I just remember I was looking at them with my peripheral vision and ready for them to make any kind of a move towards me. And then I would, gonna run. But they didn't. But I mean, I pretty much looked right at them. The other thing that happened kind of after that, I was getting ready to change my clothes, and we had this door that had these little windows way up high, and I
Mhm.
just had this really weird feeling, and I got something and stood up, and I went like this to look in the door, and looking like right at me, one pane of glass away, was, well, again, I thought it was a Native American, but I don't know. I don't know. It was like a really tall, like too tall to be just standing there looking. But I don't know. Those two things happened, and those are possibilities. But as far as seeing one and like having that 100% sure, just confident feeling of being able to recall it in my mind, no, I don't have that.
Mm.
So,
Okay. Well, I can tell you my first Bigfoot sighting. Well, me and my husband, you can look us up on YouTube, but we're Hawk Paranormal ESTNC. We're ghost hunters too.
okay.
We were going out to this old 1844 cemetery. Is inside of a park out here in North Carolina. And on the way, like we were walking down this path, and my husband had his headlamp on his head, and he started panning it around in the woods. And then next thing I know, I see something that stood 8 foot tall or higher on 2 feet standing next to a tree.
That's
Eyes big, full of hair. I mean, everything matched like the what you would think of a Bigfoot. And I'm saying I'm making jokes about it now. I'm sitting here like, but if that's a Bigfoot, y'all on your own, deuces, you know. But come to find out, it really was because once we got up into the graveyard, we started hearing something circling us.
I have heard about them being in graveyards,
Yeah,
around graveyards a lot.
yeah. Well, it kept circling us. It kept circling us. It kept making like all kinds of noises. Like it would sound like a coyote. It would sound like a
Mm.
wolf. It would sound like the different animal sounds that it was making the whole time we were doing our investigation. And we actually caught it on video walking into the woods at that cemetery.
Oh my gosh, I gotta watch that.
And that's it's what's hidden in the woods is the
Okay.
name of the video. But you could see it like when he pans the thing over and he says, "Look at that! The ghost that was popping its head out from around the tree. You could see the Bigfoot walking into the woods." So
Wow.
and then we took I was taking pictures when we started walking down this path, and I took a picture of a tree because I know that they like trees. So I
Yes.
snapped a picture. My phone was on night vision, so the picture looks green, but you can still see what's standing in the trees.
Wow.
And I mean, it's like all the evidence was there. We knew what it was. So, and everybody kept saying, "Y'all didn't see a Bigfoot. Y'all didn't see a Bigfoot." And I'm sitting here like, "Yes, we did. I know what the heck I saw." And you cannot take that image out of my head for nothing.
Yeah, I
So
really wish I had that
and
in
then
my
and then
mind.
right and then I was determined to go out there and find out if that's really what I saw.
Yeah, what's going on? So do you keep going back to the same place over
Oh
and
no,
over?
no.
Okay.
We did 2 times. We went back 2 times to this park doing an investigation. And we've been actually going to all these woods around here in North Carolina, and they're popping up everywhere. I'm finding them. I'm finding proof that they're there. Their structures that they build, their little A-frame things they do. I mean, it's all the evidence is there. We've been grunted at, we've been growled at, we've been whooped at, we've been whistled at, and they like to whistle at me for some reason. I keep getting whistled
Uh-huh.
at. I've been whistled at like 2 or 3 times already. So, I mean, Bigfoot hunting is actually interesting to me because I'm curious to what these creatures are really all about, where they came from.
Me
And,
too. Yeah.
and actually finding all this out, I guess it's just the whole point of going out and researching, finding the evidence,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
and it's just never enough. I sometimes I'm convinced 100%, and then other times I'll start to kind of doubt it, but having that image in your head must be nice. I feel like I want to go maybe have like, a psychic try to, what do they call that, hypnosis, where you can remember, like I feel like I blocked those images because I can see everything. I mean, I was in high school. It wasn't like I shouldn't be able to remember that, but I just can't. I can't picture. And I was this far away from them. They just stood there and looked back at me and didn't move. So
have you ever been charged?
no.
Me either yet. And I know one day it's going to happen because everybody tells me that I'm playing too much with them, but I'm not really playing with them. I mean, you got that gut instinct. Whenever you go out Bigfoot hunting and you feel like something is not right, that's when you back off and say, okay, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't be out here now. Maybe it's time
Yeah.
to stop. It's time to come back maybe another day or something like that. But they always tell you to listen to your gut. And that's what I try to do whenever I go out Bigfoot hunting. I listen to my gut. If it tells me to leave, I'm going to leave.
Yeah, that's probably smart. There was this one area, because I kept going back to the same place, but then there was this one area, there was a kill field, and then right after the kill field, I called it the forbidden zone because for some reason, every time I was just too afraid to go into that area. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Finally, I got someone to come with me. And then we did go into the area, and that's where I found nests. But yeah, I was like, for me, it was having to go against my feelings because my feelings would tell me to leave.
Right.
But my curiosity, it's like you have to balance between your curiosity and your safety, I guess. But
Right.
I never realized they were dangerous. I remember I always, I didn't have a good knowledge of them when it all started. And first I thought they were just really always peaceful. And then I started listening to hunters. I was listening to Bigfoot Hotspot Radio. And then I started getting scared and thinking, what am I doing? What have I been doing? Oh my gosh. But it didn't stop me.
Well, they say that it's dangerous for a woman to be out there by herself, which when I go Bigfoot hunting, I don't go by myself. My husband's always with me. He forbids me to go out in the woods by myself, which I'm not going to anyways. Like my little Bigfoot, what I call Monday swatching that I do, I'm always inside of a vehicle. I'm never
Oh,
there by
yeah.
myself and
A lot
actually.
can happen inside a vehicle with, if you have your camera and stuff. I mean, I've done investigations like that too, where it's just too scary to even get out of the car.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely this spot that I go to, I call it my honey hole, but it's actually in Kinston. It's back behind the airport in Kinston is where I go for my
is that
Monday.
near, is that near South Carolina?
Yeah, we're the next state over from South Carolina.
Okay, because I've heard about a lot of things coming from South Carolina and wolves too, and just all kinds of crazy things coming from the woods.
Now I don't know if you've heard of was it Daily Dan?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
The sounds. Oh my gosh, I love the wolf sounds he gets. I don't even know what those creatures are that he's recording, but That's
I
really nice.
heard one the other day, one of his recordings, and Brenda, I said to Jason, I said, what in the hell is going on in that recording? I said, I ain't trying to live there. Nope. See, we've got coyotes here. We've got javelina, and I can deal with the spirits. None of that mess. No. Brenda, if I hear that when I come out there, I'm gone. I'll be like, Brenda, I'm not going to leave you here. But you coming with me? I'm dragging you out. That's a lot of stuff. That's like coyotes,
and
wolves.
they're just going crazy.
Do they mimic it maybe? Is it a mimicking thing that they do?
Yep.
Because there was something in that didn't fit. Like when you listen to the sounds, in the middle there was one did not fit.
Yeah, no, I call it wolves, but I mean I really don't know what those sounds are.
They're trying to, you could tell the difference though. I mean, because the older ones, when they're trying to mimic something, they sound more like it. But the younger ones, they're off. The sound of them is off.
So it was very high pitched and low, and it was like it wouldn't stay like steady.
Yeah.
I was listening, going, there's something there that doesn't fit. Like, you know what a coyote sounds like, you know what a wolf sounds like, but there's something odd in there that didn't fit.
Is going from high to low. That's really weird. Yeah, I wish I knew how to get some good recording devices, because I want to record from the riverbed at night here, but I mean, I would need to just let it record all night, or if it could be, start recording when it hears something.
Have you tried using a digital recorder?
No, the only thing I've ever used is just my camera, my video, on the camera. But sounds are really cool. Sounds are
right. Okay, so I'm going to share something with you that somebody has shared with me. So whenever you want to try to catch like your sounds and stuff like that, you get a digital recorder, and you take some earphones and you plug the earphones into the digital recorder, and it makes everything live. It makes everything sound like it's like right there in front of you.
Ooh, cool.
You'll be able to hear what's going on around you, all those little sounds where you won't be able to hear so good with your ears. Without all this, it brings it like it's right in front of you. That's how cool. So
that sounds not very expensive either. Yeah, I'm going to look into that, because I love recording sounds, and I know that the riverbed goes off. It's just a matter of recording it at the time.
Right.
But yeah, the things that I hear, and then also the sounds, they get the coyotes going. So, but you can tell if you are listening, you can tell them the difference between them and the coyotes, and then they just get the coyotes just so riled up. I don't know what the deal is with coyotes in them. I don't know.
I don't know either, because I always thought that they ate coyotes. Coyotes was one of the things they eat. They eat deer. I mean,
I was finding so many dead things in the kill field there. They were, I mean, at least as big as cougars, the whole, head and the whole body, and the spine and the tail, several skulls and stuff, and the fangs, just really huge fangs. I mean, yeah.
So
it's interesting.
Is Bigfoot the only thing that you have encountered, or have you ever seen Dogman?
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't really know what's out there, but who knows what's out there, because I haven't actually seen it. But it's kind of a long story, but there's this Kachina painting. I don't know if you know about the Kachinas, but they might have something to do with the Bigfoot. And I don't know what you think about the whole the paranormal kind of Bigfoot. I think there's something to it, but at the same time, I think it can be explained with science, but just maybe science we don't know yet.
Right.
There seems to be some strangeness going on. I don't know if you just think they're like completely, I think that they're, biological creatures that, probably can be killed, obviously, but I do think they have some abilities or senses that are just different than ours, that seem like magic almost, whether it's sound waves they can emanate, or I'm not sure what they're doing. I don't know. I'm so curious. Like, what are they doing? They're just very different. You know, I don't know. They're not really animals. They're not humans. It's just an interesting combination.
It's more like, you know, like you're talking about like cloaking, like
Yeah.
how they cloak themselves and they disappear, and it's like, you know, they're there and then next thing you know they're not. They go completely invisible because they're blending in with whatever they're around. It's like everybody keeps telling me they're like a chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
They can blend in with everything that they have around them.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you should see like what other animals can do when it comes to blending in. It's amazing, but it seems like people are trying to say that they like literally seem to disappear, or the footprints will just stop. They might be using some kind of I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's some kind of science that we don't know, like quantum physics actually might explain some of these things. And then the sound waves, the way that they can use sound waves or emit some kind of thing that maybe, you know, messes with our vision or something. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what's going on. I'm so curious.
That's the whenever they start messing with your vision, I've been told that's called the infrared. The
Yeah,
infrared is
and
what
that makes sense. The infrared, you know, I know more about the infrasound, but it would make sense that if they can hear in infrasound, then they can probably see in infrared. Yeah, and so that would explain a lot, like why they probably can see the cameras, you know, the infrared cameras. Yeah, they just have the ability, like their senses are so above ours that it almost seems like magic.
It
But I
does.
don't know, what do you think? I know you have had a guest on that says he knows that they've been killed before, but I really do wonder about that because, you know, there's no proof that they've ever been killed before. So I just wonder I wonder about that.
Well, I mean, you know, I try not to knock anybody down, you know, the things they come up on my panel and
Mhm.
tell me about and stuff like that, because, you know, I'm still learning myself.
Mhm.
And that's why I bring up so many different Bigfoot hunters and stuff like that. People that's had different experiences from all over the world now.
Yeah.
That way you guys can kind of tell me what you guys have been through, what you've dealt with since you've been out there in the field. I mean, you know, we're all researchers in some aspect. We're all out there to do one thing. We're all out there to prove that they're real. And, you know, some have more equipment or more ability to go out and actually travel the world to bring it to light to people that Bigfoot really do exist.
It takes a lot of time.
It really does.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I love listening to like I was when I first started getting into the Bigfoot thing, just listening to YouTube and AM or the radio, you know, talk radio about Bigfoot and hearing all the eyewitness accounts and just, you know, it's just fascinating. I love hearing what people, you know, have to say about it. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that's what everybody should do. Honestly, it's, you know, if you're going to be out there in the field doing it, it's like everybody keeps telling me, Brenda, you need to know what you're out there dealing with. And, you know, me, I like watching. I'm a big Expedition Bigfoot watcher. I love me some Expedition Bigfoot because these people are legit. They're out there.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Walking the woods, you know, studying these creatures and just the things that they do. And I would give everything to be able to have these people up on my panel just to sit there and I would keep it running for hours just to sit and listen.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
They'd be picking their brain left and right. Yeah, what is this? What is that? Wait, what do you do? What do you do?
Yeah.
I watch them too. Anything cryptid comes on like TV, I'm like a big nerd.
Yeah,
Whether
I need
it's Dogman or Chupacabra, whatever cryptic is, I watch it, and it's like it's interesting to know that they do exist. I mean, you believe in ghosts. If you believe in spirits, you got to believe in Bigfoot. I mean,
yeah, it's weird how sometimes you like, especially with UFOs,
you know, you can't one
they're
or
like
the other.
against each other. It just doesn't make any sense why you would have such a strong opinion against one.
I've seen UFOs, so I can't say I don't believe in Bigfoot.
No, I have
I've seen UFOs.
That I know.
You know, yeah.
Those I know exist. But the Bigfoot is still just that, you know, I need more. I need to just know more, you know.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna
But
tell you another one to go that you could go up and listen to. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's called Trinity PARA-CRYPTID Research. Now they have all
Text,
kinds of people up there. I am a big fan of Tex. I mean, I'm telling you that man, he says that he doesn't know everything, which nobody ever does. But I'm gonna tell you, for you to learn more, because that's where I'm learning my stuff from.
okay, wait a minute.
Trinity PARA-CRYPTID Research.
Okay.
He has shows.
You don't BS you either. You don't BS you either.
Oh, he
Yeah, I
does.
love listening to that stuff, especially like before I go to bed. I like to just listen to Bigfoot stories.
Okay.
But I'm also watching the Skinwalker Ranch TV series, and that's pretty good. There's some weird things going on there, and I love how they just give it all a lot of credibility. You know, just the weird stuff that a lot of us are doing. They give it more credibility just because I don't know. They have a they're the guy's an astrophysicist, so and they have a lot of money that they're putting into the research there, and just getting so many weird, strange results. I don't know, no idea what's going on there. And then again, like things coming and going and disappearing and stuff. Like, I mean,
who knows? I mean,
and like ghosts, like, are they? Have you seen ghosts?
have I seen a ghost? Yes.
Yeah, I have seen ghosts because I lived in a haunted house. But yeah, what is going on with that? And I don't know, the ghost I saw was far away. It was always like far away. It was in my window, and I used to think it was my mom waving at me. And then we'd go up there, and no one would be there. And so I don't know. It's like, are they interacting with us? That's the really weird part. Like with the EVPs, when they seem to be answering back. I mean, what the heck is going on? Something invisible,
Well, I mean, every ghost has its purpose of being on this earth. I mean, some have unfinished business, some have just where they're lost, and they don't really realize that they're gone. They're just stuck. I mean, you have all different kinds of spirits, ghosts. I mean, there's just so many different reasons. The reasons why they're still here. And when we go out, when we ghost hunt, is we're trying to figure out what their life was all about, and the reason, pretty much the reason why they're still here. What
Yeah.
they, how they died, which some of them will tell you. Okay, well, I died from from a heart attack, or I died from a disease, or different stuff.
Yeah,
Like
but it's like, are they really still there? And I guess, yeah, it's just strange.
yeah, they are. They really are. I mean, you said that you have ghosts. You have ghosts where you live now.
No, I don't. I did in Jerome. I lived in a haunted house. It used to be a whorehouse, and it was haunted. Yeah, all kinds of things happened there. So that's why I kind of like don't really get into ghosts too much, because I mean that terror, that fear, and bringing it home. It's just like, but I'm fascinated by EVPs, so I like always watching other people do it.
Right. Right. Well, we're definitely ghost hunters. Outside of our cryptid channel, which is my channel, we also have
What's the name of the other ghost channel that you have?
Hawk Paranormal.
Okay.
EST is as an Eastern, but it's just EST.
Okay.
And XC.
Cool.
So I mean, go check us out. I mean, you'll find some stuff. Like I said, the one that I was telling you about, where the Bigfoot walked into the woods, is what's hidden in the woods.
What's hidden in the woods? Yeah, I've got to check that out.
So that was at that 1844 cemetery I was telling you about. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that sounds fascinating.
They took it, like, were you talking about like ghost and Bigfoot? I've been questioning myself for a long time. Even other people that I talk to about it, even me and Jax, we'll sit here like, she's like, Bran, she says, there's got to be something to do with paranormal and Bigfoot. I mean, it seems like, because they disappeared. I mean, there's like,
well, it's look, whenever you get a Bigfoot picture, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see an orb in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
You do see orbs from Bigfoot. When you go out in your Bigfoot hunting, they get things they can't explain along with the picture. So, I mean, and I think they could be interdimensional, because one time they're there and they move so quick, something that big, yes, has a long gait, can move quickly. but not so quickly from your view. If you've got it right in your view and you go to zoom in and it's gone.
And you should hear it crushing and smashing away.
I think that they could be interdimensional. I think they could go to one place to another quickly. It just, like I said, if you believe in, like every time I see a Bigfoot picture, like when Brenda takes her pictures, there's orbs in those pictures.
Yeah, they are associated a lot of times with orbs. And then, you know, the UFOs are really, it's a UFO hotspot and a Bigfoot hotspot. So there is that correlation here too.
I mean, I think it all ties in. I think it all ties in some way. Just maybe one day researchers will figure out how. But for now, you know. But that's also. I mean, that's what I think. I think Bigfoot, yes, they can move fast. They have a wide gait. They can cover long distance. You know, but to move that quick and be that fast. And it's like they may be stealthy and they make him run, but you can't hear vision 1 second. Zoom out. And then they're gone nowhere and don't hear anything. You don't hear branches breaking. You don't hear nothing. It's like they're big creatures.
I mean, because they have this animal side. They're hunting. They're drinking water. You know, leaving footprints. But then they have this other side that is just there's something not quite right, or something just that we don't understand for sure. And I'm hoping it's true too, because I don't know. I don't want someone to catch one and put one in a zoo and have them,
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Yeah. So
they're just living their life. They're doing what they do. It's like any other animal or whatever's out there. I mean, I think like every animal studied or whatever for research, but I don't think anybody should go out and try to kill one or put it in a zoo or put it in on that.
That would be terrible.
It would. Zoos, they do what they do too. I mean, zoos do put, wild animals, blah, 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 they do. But something like that would be like damaging to their, I don't know, their numbers. I mean, who knows if one gets taken away? I'm sure they have family units.
Yeah.
Say one gets taken away, that whole family could die out. You don't know.
You don't know. And so that's, you shouldn't. So I agree with that. I don't think that, as much as I want to know, I don't think, killing one would be worth it finding out. No. But I think that there's, we're getting especially with the ghost hunting, the techniques that and the equipment that they're using to detect things, I think is going to just, is going to keep getting better. And maybe someday we'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing that me and my husband do when we go out Bigfoot hunting. Have you heard of the Necrophonic app?
I have heard about that.
Okay. Well, me and my husband use the Necrophonic app when we go out, and it usually tells us Bigfoot. We'll say what's around us. They'll say Bigfoot.
That's so weird.
And then they'll warn us, like when a Bigfoot, like this last investigation we went on, the one that you'll see when you pull our page up. We were out in a cemetery, and this was like back from the mid to late 1800 cemetery now, where they used to take and separate the whites from the blacks. But they kept telling us Bigfoot by the tree. Bigfoot. They kept saying, it seemed like every other word was Bigfoot. And we knew they were out there because
so cool.
And stuff like that. I mean, there's been a couple of our investigations now 3 of our investigations we've been on to while we're out ghost hunting that we got Bigfoot and ghost all in the same investigation.
Yeah, a lot of times I would be watching just, I always watch the ghost shows. Like I've seen so many ghost shows, and every once in a while I'd be like, that is not a ghost, that's a Bigfoot. But, sometimes it seemed like, there's a lot of similarities between the two with the things that the effects they have on people.
Yeah. And I will tell you, whenever I go out Bigfoot hunting, I get headaches a lot. So there's been, where did we go that I got sick at my stomach? I think it was actually in Kinston at that little park that we went out to, where used to be an old ship that sat out there where they pulled out of the Neuse River.
Oh.
It's from or like way back when, like in the 1800s and stuff like that. But we went out there and we actually did some Bigfoot hunting out there. And by the time I was done, my stomach, I felt nauseous. My head was pounding. And I was, I was asking questions about that. And I'm sitting here like, well, what causes that? And they say it's the infrasound that they throw out to make it to where it messes with your eyes to where you can't see them.
Yeah, and it can even vibrate your organs, and like everything vibrates at a frequency. And if they vibrate, through sound waves, yeah, that vibration, and you can't hear it, but it can make you feel totally sick and have all kinds of really bad effects. Usually it just makes you want to leave and go home, and you might not even realize, that it was from Bigfoot.
I didn't know that's I didn't know that's what was causing it. I didn't until somebody had told me, Brenda, I can tell you what's causing that.
That's
them big
weird.
around because like that place I was just telling you about where that ship was pulled out of the water. My husband had walked into the woods because to see what else he could see by like the water or whatever, because I had capris on that day. I said I'm not walking back in them weeds. But while he had left me, I was told that I was getting closed in on. Like they were coming from different corners, trying to surround me. And when that happened, I felt it. I felt like I was being boxed in. That was going on.
Yes, that boxed in, like from all sides. It's yeah,
Right.
I know what that feels like.
So they say that's another reason why they say that women shouldn't go out and Bigfoot hunt by themselves, because they keep saying that they know what human females look like.
Mm-hmm.
They know what we look like. I mean, we look just like the human, or not human, but the the Bigfoot, the women Bigfoot. The only difference is we're not covered in hair like they are. I mean, they have the breast and they have the vajayjay. They have all them female parts. They're just covered in hair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, of course it's not good to go out by yourself, but at the same time, you might have good luck going. I mean, I go out by myself. I go with my dog. And sometimes I'll go with my husband, but for the most part, it's just me and my dog. And I feel like I might have better luck just because of that. I feel like I don't need to go really far in either. It's just like if you just go to the outsides, and when I was with my friends, I found like you can kind of bring them in. I feel like by just doing things that would be interesting to them.
Right.
You have to be interesting though. Otherwise they aren't gonna really. They're just going to avoid you. But then also the ones I think living, so I'm in pretty much in Hemet, but LA is right here. And then when I was in San Bernardino in those mountains, I had some, I chose my camping sites. It's funny because I picked the places we're going to go camping based on like Bigfoot sightings. And so we went to this campsite that had a lot of Bigfoot sightings, and it was raining. And then early in the morning, they were yelling and stuff, but I don't really remember what I was talking about, but I forgot my train of thought. But I don't know, they just seem like, the ones in the city, they seem like they're more used to people, and so they're almost braver, like they were just yelling and stuff, and they kind of know people's patterns and where they're going to go, and they don't seem too afraid of humans. I mean, it's not like they're showing themselves, but they're not like, being really scared and sneaky and stuff. I think that the ones like if you go up in like Canada or something in the wilderness, those ones might be not as, I don't know, I think maybe more dangerous.
Yeah.
But the ones around here, I feel like they're used to seeing people. So they're not so, some of them definitely seem dangerous, and others, I feel like too, one thing, if you keep pushing with them, eventually they're going to like test your fear. They're going to scare you. They're going to try to scare you, because it's like, if you think you want to see them, why would they show themselves to you if you're just going to probably scream and run, So I felt like they would scare me on purpose. I don't know if they liked that, but And I did have one, some shake a tree, and it was like, you can't say it was shaking a tree at me, but it seemed like it was at me. It was so aggressive, and it was just like, that was really weird. It was like right when I was getting ready to leave, I just took one last look, and then this tree just shook really violently. And then I took a picture, and I did get a picture of a face right where it was coming from. So I don't know. They just seem like they are so much more skill at us. They can get really close, but we can't see them. They just know exactly how far away to stay, seems like. And they just, I don't know. The young ones, I think, are more willing to interact than the older ones. The older ones, I don't think have much tolerance for, people trying to get into their business and stuff.
Right. So out
Yeah,
of
when I first started, I didn't, have any of these thoughts or anything. And I was just pushing and pushing. And then as, things would happen, and I would kind of like learn things, as I would go.
So out of all of your everything that you got on your channel for, Bigfoot, of course, whatever, what was your most favorite one to go film? Tell us about the experience.
Well, my favorite experience, I guess the coolest thing would be the one with the whooping and stuff, because that was when I went into Batista Canyon, and it started getting really creepy, and like just the trees were over, and it was just started getting creepy. And then I heard a whoop come from right next to me, and then another one from far away, and then another one, and then he did it again, and then I was getting paralleled, and then after that I like blacked out, and then I came to because I caught a glimpse of my watch and realized that I was gonna get stuck in there in the dark. But when I came to, I was sitting on the ground, like with my back to the trail. Like, I don't even know how much time had passed. I have no idea.
I've heard people talk of that, and I can't remember who it was that told me about that, but they can make you lose your sense of time while you're out there.
Like, if I wouldn't have caught a glimpse of my watch, I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know how long I was there, and I don't know why I was sitting. And it was like I had been being parallel, and it was weird because the thing that was paralleling me was just plowing through this impenetrable bush, and it was whatever was going on made no sense, and it was impossible. And that's before I knew about Bigfoot. And it was like, this is impossible. This can't be happening. There's nothing, because it was bipedal, and it was, I don't know why I wasn't afraid though. That's the other thing. I feel like something must have happened to me, because normally I'm afraid of everything. And I don't know.
You go out.
I know, that's what, yeah, well, I am afraid, but I think that makes me more alert.
Yeah, it does. It keeps you on your toes. It's like, everybody always tells me, when you go out Bigfoot hunting, you always keep your head at a swivel, watch your surroundings, and
yeah. And look up too, because they could be in a tree.
Most definitely. I think a lot of while we've been out Bigfoot hunting, a lot of mine's either standing by the tree, or some of them could be up in a tree. You have some that take and hide behind bushes or hide under bushes, to where, to the point where they can't actually be seen.
Yeah.
So, it's amazing. It's just like, you see more men that goes out in the woods hunting these things. Now you're seeing a lot of females doing it too.
Yeah. So that's why I just wonder, I do wonder. I have an open mind about it. And since I don't know, I can't really say one way or the other, but I just wonder if all that talk about them, I really wonder if they can be killed. That's what I wonder most. And, I've heard people say that they have been killed. The military has killed them. And well, I don't really know what the military is doing with them, but I'm sure the military would want to know all about that infrasound and all their, stealth abilities. They would love to study them. So I don't know. if you can catch them or not.
Well, it's like, we have talked about on some of my other shows too, that, we really honestly believe that the government knows about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
They know about aliens like Area 51. There's a reason why we can't get up there. There's a reason why it's highly guarded.
Yeah, of course they know. But it's just how much they know and what they know that I wonder. But of course they know. And that, the disclosure about the UFOs, they only did that because it's almost ridiculous at this point for them to say UFOs don't exist because everyone's seeing them. So, now they just admitted they exist, but trust they know more than that. But that's all they're going to say is that, okay, they're real.
That's true. That is so true. So, at this point in time, you guys, I can't see the chat because I'm on my phone, but Jax can. If you would like to ask Jenna anything about her, her journey on since she's been Bigfoot hunting, now is the time to ask her. I'm pretty sure she'll be okay with answering any questions you have for her. So, I'm gonna take this time to actually, let Jax take and post up the questions that you guys have for her. Because I'm gonna try to keep this short because my phone's down to 21%.
So is it raining there?
Huh?
Was it raining there?
It's been raining on and off here. Every time it rains, my hotspot is stupid. And that's the reason why I said, I tried to come over here by McDonald's so I could pick up on the Wi-Fi, and my computer didn't connect to it, so which really sucked. Hold on, I might be able to see the chat. I think Sasquatch. Not good. I didn't think so. Sightings. Connection with Sasquatch. Okay, I don't know. I don't see no questions popping up here. Has she ever seen green plasma on trees?
No, not that I haven't. Green plasma. I mean, I want to ask them about have they?
I don't, I've never seen the green plasma myself either. So, I mean, I'm kind of like you. I'm like, okay, what are you talking about?
I haven't heard of that.
I've never heard of it neither. With Sasquatch? What is the connection with Sasquatch and Egypt? I don't know how to answer that because I'm not too smart when it comes to everything about Sasquatch. Savoring, I don't cosmic wild man. I'm still learning myself. So I mean,
Egypt.
Yeah, that.
I just think of the cryptids.
Yeah, they're asking about Egyptology.
Well, there's a lot of the cryptids in Egypt, with Anubis and Sekhmet. And so, they all seem to be that seems to be what they are. I mean, they've been reported like throughout history, those cryptids and things like that. And I mean, they obviously, I think, had to go in hiding because people were probably trying to kill them. That's like why, I think that the government cover-up is probably a good thing, really, because everyone would go hunting them, whether it was legal or not, So I just don't know if we're really ready for just, I think just the way they're just little bits here and there is like, guess how it has to be done for us to accept them.
What's really funny too is, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, but if the government does know about all this, not just Bigfoot, but aliens and whatever else is out there, they need to go ahead and let the Americans know that they do exist, that this is what they found out about it. Because I'm going to tell you, the longer they hold off, the more these things are going to start multiplying. They've already started multiplying because I'm going to tell you, every time I go out Bigfoot hunting, I see more than a handful. I see more than 2 handfuls when I'm out there Bigfoot hunting. That's where they're
somebody from Kentucky was saying that there's so many of them that they have to go in there and the government goes in there and kills them. like to manage them. I know that, you know, wildlife manages all kinds of animals that they kill. That was like, wow, you know, I mean, is this really happening? You know, I just,
Ryan said, not sure why everyone believes the government covers them up. In the Washington State Nature Manual, the Sasquatch are listed. So if they're listed, that means the government's not covering them up. If they're listed in the Nature Manual, that means they're not. They're saying they, you know, they're there.
Yeah, they say, yeah. I mean, it's just sort of like one of those things, like don't tell, or I mean, like you know, they know they exist, but they're not going to admit it.
Because they might look more like you and I than.
Christy wants to know how many types are there now of Bigfoot.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but you know, it does seem like there's different types. You know, the bigger ones are probably living in the more wild areas, and I guess there's a difference. I don't really know, because we don't know if they're dogmen or swamp apes, or I'm not really sure.
You know, I've heard of tell, and to get me to actually say the names of them, forget it. But I've heard tell of at least, I think, like four different kinds. Like interviews and stuff that I've done. I mean, I could be wrong. There could be more, and don't quote me on that. But you know, I think it was with Ryan. I think when Ryan was telling me about it, when I had Ryan up on my panel.
Yeah, some people, you know, they know more about like that and the different types and stuff, but it's not really my area of expertise.
Ryan also said there is a law against killing one or harassing one. So if you get caught killing one or harassing one, there's a law.
I know there are in some states, but I don't know about all states.
No, not all states.
Yeah.
Then Ryan says there's 4 types of Sasquatch. We'll make you proud, Ryan. Hold up. Chronicle so far. Patty type is the Gugway. And then they have the I don't know, the skunk ape, the Genosqua, and the ones here in the U.S. Well, how did I do, Ryan? Did I say them right?
They call him the Sandman. Oh, down, you know, over here, the Borrego Sandman, and he's also the Yucca Man. They call him the Joshua Tree Yucca Man. And they're like, you know, shorter, stockier, and, you know, they live in the desert. So I'm sure there's some variations in between, like, say, the desert one and the swamp one. But I'm not sure if it's just environmental or if there's actual, you know, physical difference between the species.
Right.
But yeah, I heard all those
right. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I learned a lot from Ryan. I don't know if you were up there, Jenna, when I had Ryan on my panel, but he's another one. Whisper Scream, called Whisper Scream.
A Whisper to Scream Cryptids podcast.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Scream. Yeah, because I love listening. I just listen and listen and listen.
There's the Yeti, the Orang Pendek, Rock Apes. Here in Arizona, we have the Mongolian Monster. Boom, I know I got that one right because I saw that on TV.
Mongolian Monster.
I remember that.
Yeah, I guess that's weird. I mean, every state probably has different names for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, you know, at this time too, you know, I would really like to say thank you, Jenna, for coming up here on my panel and sharing your experiences and stuff like that. I mean, this has been a wonderful interview. I mean,
thanks so much for inviting me and talking to me. I mean, I love listening and I love talking about Bigfoot. So I appreciate you having me on your show. It was fun.
So and you know, if you ever want to come up on panel again, just shoot me an email. You got my email, and say, Brenda, I got some new stuff to tell you, and then I'll bring you up on panel, and you could tell all my listeners too. But if you guys are not subscribed to this woman, Cryptic Cryptids, she is an amazing Bigfoot hunter. She's another female Bigfoot hunter, and I support any woman that will go out there and do what you see a lot of men out there doing. It doesn't matter if you've only seen Bigfoot once or you've seen a Bigfoot print, you still are out there doing something to prove that they are real and they exist. Yeah. So, you know, again.
All right. Well, thank you for the leads too. I'm going to check out these websites or these YouTube pages as well.
Yes, please do, because they're all everybody we pointed you towards are people that will teach you more than the things that you're asking about. Because this is where I get my information from. Ryan, which he's in the chat, and the Whisper to Scream podcast. That's Ryan, and then he's an amazing person. And then Trinity PARA-CRYPTID Research. That's Tex. He's amazing too. His co-host that he has with him, Jason. Boy, that man is smart as a book. I'm telling you. It's like
I watched their video the other day. I think they did. It was a live I was watching. They're very, very knowledgeable.
Oh, yes. Cool. That's great. Like I said, I just love listening. I listen every night before I go to bed, and I just love to hear Bigfoot stories,
so
cryptids and ghosts and all that stuff.
Right. So when you go in and you subscribe to him, tell him Brenda Hawkins sent you. He'll know who you're talking about. Tex knows me very well. So, again, thank you so much for being here. Everybody, thank you. Everybody that's in my chat, guys, sorry I haven't been able to keep up with the chat because, again, I'm on my phone and my little thing I had trying to do, it didn't work out for me. So I'm using my phone anyways. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Again, Jenna, anytime you want to come up on panel, just give me a shout. You're more than welcome. Bye, everybody. We'll talk to you later. And watch out for them Bigfoot.
Bye, buddy.
Y'all.
Bye.
Okay, let's see. In broadcast.